Tensions are high in Northeast Asia. Today, a new chapter in military cooperation begins. The United States, South Korea, and Japan have launched Freedom Edge 2025, a powerful signal to the world. This is more than a drill, it's a declaration of unity against growing threats. Freedom Edge draws a line in the sand, showing these nations are ready to defend shared values. The world is watching closely as the stakes rise. For the first time, air, sea, land, and cyber forces are combining in a single massive operation. Years of diplomacy have led to this moment, overcoming historical differences for a common cause. The goal: a seamless defense network able to respond to any crisis, anytime. Freedom Edge is where policy meets practice on the front lines of a new Cold War. The timing is critical as North Korea advances its nuclear and missile programs. Each test by Pyongyang brings new urgency, pushing the Allies closer together. A strong, visible deterrent is now seen as the only way to prevent conflict. What sets this apart is the scale and complexity, no longer separate drills, but a unified front. This trilateral cooperation marks a major shift in regional security. As ships sail and jets fly, these nations are forging a new alliance for the 21st century. The message: together, they are stronger and more prepared than ever. Freedom Edge 2025 is a massive undertaking. Thousands of US, South Korean, and Japanese service members are participating. The main players: navies, air forces, and cyber commands. A US carrier strike group joined by Aegis-equipped destroyers from all three nations forms the backbone of missile defense. Naval drills unfold in the waters south of Korea and the East China Sea, vital strategic locations. Air Force drills launch from bases in South Korea and Japan, with F-35s and F-15s flying joint patrols. Cyber operators connect in secure facilities, waging virtual battles. For the first time, these nations are testing unified multi-domain operations: sea, air, land, and cyberspace. Freedom Edge is about making the alliance greater than the sum of its parts. This cooperation stems from the Camp David Summit, where leaders pledged regular multi-year exercises. Freedom Edge is the first step in turning diplomatic promises into military reality. It's the beginning of a new era of deepening military bonds in the region. The drills are broken into key components. At sea, Aegis destroyers practice real-time data sharing. One ship detects a missile, another intercepts it. This launch-on-remote capability creates a layered defense, making it harder for attackers to succeed. In the air, pilots from all three nations fly defensive and offensive missions, practicing seamless communication and tactics. Secure data links let a Japanese pilot see the same battlefield as an American, forging a single, lethal team. In cyberspace, experts defend networks and rehearse responses to simulated attacks. Knowing a war could start with a keystroke. Cyber defense is now a central pillar, ensuring the alliance can fight and win in the digital domain. Senior leaders participate in a tabletop exercise, Iron Mace, simulating a crisis that escalates from skirmish to cyber attack to missile launch. They must make critical decisions under pressure, testing the alliance's ability to respond at every level. Iron Mace ensures leaders are as prepared as soldiers on the front line. Freedom Edge 2025 is not just about firepower, it's about coordination, resilience, and readiness. The drills test every aspect of the alliance, from the tactical to the strategic. This is a rehearsal for real-world crises, forging habits of cooperation that could decide the future of the region. The message: the alliance is ready for any threat in any domain. North Korea has responded to Freedom Edge with predictable anger. Pyongyang's state media calls the drills a rehearsal for invasion, pushing the peninsula to the brink of nuclear war. This rhetoric is familiar, but the trilateral nature of the drills has drawn sharper rebuke. North Korea emphasizes its nuclear status, warning it won't be intimidated by conventional force. The message: any conflict could escalate to the nuclear level. Beyond words, North Korea often answers drills with missile tests, protests that double as weapons development. The world watches for a potential launch or military demonstration. These threats are calculated to create crisis and sow division among the allies. Pyongyang hopes to gain sympathy from neighbors and fuel debate within South Korea. North Korea's response is political warfare, aimed at winning the narrative and portraying itself as the victim. Even as it builds its arsenal, it seeks to shift blame and fracture the alliance. The stakes are high, and every move is watched closely. The cycle of provocation and response continues, with no easy end in sight. Not all South Koreans support Freedom Edge. Protests erupt in Seoul, with activists arguing the drills provoke North Korea and increase the risk of war. Many older South Koreans, shaped by memories of the Korean War, support a strong alliance and see the drills as necessary deterrents. Younger generations focused on domestic issues are more skeptical, questioning whether military posturing truly brings security. This generational divide is a hallmark of South Korean democracy. The government must balance national security with public desire for peace. Conservatives prioritize the alliance, citing failed engagement with the North. Liberals push for renewed diplomacy. The protests highlight a fundamental division: how best to manage an unpredictable neighbor. The debate shapes policy and reflects the complexity of life on the peninsula. South Korea's divided heart is both its strength and its challenge. Freedom Edge isn't just about Korea, it has regional implications, and China is watching closely. Beijing sees the US-Japan-South Korea alliance as a challenge to its ambitions, fearing an Asian NATO. Chinese officials call for restraint, warning against escalation. China's role is complex. It's North Korea's main ally, but is frustrated by Pyongyang's nuclear ambitions. Beijing doesn't want a unified US-allied Korea on its border. The new trilateral alignment threatens China's influence in the Indo-Pacific. For decades, disputes kept Seoul and Tokyo apart. Now, shared threats have united them. This democratic bloc can counterbalance China's power. Russia joins China in criticizing the drills, while Southeast Asian nations watch warily. Some welcome a check on China, others fear being caught in great power rivalry. Freedom Edge is redrawing Asia's geopolitical map, forcing every nation to reconsider its strategy. The region is entering a new era of competition and uncertainty. Freedom Edge walks a fine line between deterrence and provocation. For the Allies, the logic is clear: show strength to deter North Korean aggression. The drills are defensive, rehearsing responses to attack, not starting one. But Pyongyang sees them as a direct threat, a rehearsal for invasion. This perception fuels a cycle. Drills provoke missile tests, which prompt bigger drills. The risk of miscalculation grows with each escalation. One mistake, a stray missile, a nervous soldier, could spiral into disaster. Both sides play a dangerous game, each move raising the stakes. The dance between deterrence and provocation is perilous. The region teeters on the edge, with millions of lives at risk. In this high-stakes chess match, one wrong move could be catastrophic. Freedom Edge is an impressive show of force, but it has limits. Military exercises can't solve the political problems of the Korean peninsula. They won't make North Korea give up its nuclear weapons, which it sees as essential for survival. Drills can't erase historical disputes between allies or fix humanitarian crises in the north. The unity on display is promising, but fragile. Political shifts could undo progress. Critics argue resources could be better spent on diplomacy or aid. Military power can deter and defend, but it can't build lasting peace alone. Only patient diplomacy and engagement can move the region toward true resolution. As Freedom Edge continues, the world holds its breath. All eyes are on North Korea. Will it respond with words, missiles, or something more dangerous? Intelligence agencies in Washington, Seoul, and Tokyo analyze every move. China and Russia voice opposition, possibly signaling with their own drills. The diplomatic chess game is as important as the military one. Domestic debates in South Korea and Japan intensify, shaping future cooperation. The coming days are a stress test for Asia's new security architecture. The risk of miscalculation is real. Conflict could devastate the global economy and cost countless lives. The world must watch, listen, and demand every effort for de-escalation. The choices made now will shape the future of peace in Northeast Asia. What happens next matters.